It's time to talk about tantalizing teasers. What can you do to make your post titles and email subjects tantalizing to your audience? The answer is simple but counterintuitive. Your goal with your title or subject is to engage, not educate. The keyword is intrigue, not inform. If you're finding that your audience isn't reading, well, then maybe you're not getting them interested enough. But it's boring. I can hear the voice in the back of your head saying, my stuff is boring. Each of us communicate things that are boring to us, but it doesn't need to be boring to other people. There's always a spin that can make the content interesting. If you're communicating the next company picnic, you can title it, Which of your colleagues can eat the most pork? Find out on 6/1. Sure, it's still a company picnic, but whether you have an official pork eating contest or not, you've grabbed their attention. Benefits re-enrollment is the bane of most HR professionals' existence. Messages like, benefits re-enrollment due 12/15 are met with no response. How different would the response be if you titled the same message, 3 things you need to do to protect your health benefits? All of a sudden, it's not about the boring, it's about what matters to the person you're communicating with. Cultivating the creative. The second objection I often hear when encouraging people to talk in teasers is that they're not creative enough to create the alternate titles. All of us are creative enough. Sometimes we just need a way to unleash that creativity. Here are a couple of prompts that you can use to transform the boring title into something intriguing. The first tip, missing word. What missing word would make the title not make sense but would still be interesting? Our president to speak leads to the question, where and when? Simply removing the name of the conference he's speaking at creates questions that seemingly have answers in just a single click. Change the perspective. Sometimes taking a contrary point of view, like, don't take your vacation, can provoke interest into why you might be saying such a thing. Even an unpopular perspective can get attention, like, remembering the war of northern aggression can get people thinking differently. That is, unless you're in the South, where you need to refer to it as remembering the Civil War, or maybe, better yet, remembering what's civil in war. Did you know? Strange new facts shake people's sense of perspective and can lead them in another direction of inquiry. Did you know that medical errors are the 3rd largest cause of death in the United States? It creates a question of why, how, and what can be done. In the future, what happens when you provide the date and time, and maybe even the place, but not the event? Some things will be obvious, but for instance, July 4th, when will we celebrate? Creates a mystery. Since it's too obvious, the reader will expect a twist. Wrong place. Sometimes you can reuse a headline that readers have seen other places, but out of context, to leverage both familiarity and intrigue. I Love You is a replay of an old social engineering and malware attack and an intrigue-based way to communicate a new program for combating phishing attacks. No intrigue for you. There are times when you don't want to use teasers. That's when the goal is to create awareness. You don't need the reader to understand the entire article or to take an action. Thus, if you can summarize everything they need to know in the subject, do it. Let them come back if and when they need detailed information. They'll remember it better that way anyway.